welcome to Ferrum Football First and 10. I'm your host, Taylor Chitwood, alongside me, co-host Brandon Roberts and Coach Rob Grande. Coach, good to see you again this week.
Good to see you, fellas.
So, Coach, we'll go over the injury report like we do every week. We know we were missing Nick Pierce last week. He was a game-time decision. He didn't go. Any key injuries we lost last week? Anybody we're getting back this week other than maybe Nick?
Well, aside from him, Taylor Brown also came out of Greensboro with an ankle injury and was a game-time decision and didn't go against Shenandoah. DJ Baylor had missed Greensboro with an ankle and actually missed Shenandoah, so another starter on defense. And A.J. Camp was battling through a high hamstring and really didn't play either. So we lost 3 starters last week that didn't play, along with Nick on the offensive side. But with a bye week coming through, and we want to be smart to get those guys back full go for the next 5, and we're hopeful that that's going to be the plan. So.
Perfect time for a bye week.
Sure.
Oh yeah, gotta love bye weeks.
Not when you're playing well. Just keep playing.
Fair enough. We got to talk about Broad Man again. That's just as the headline read on the website, the assault on the record books, and that's completely true. Now owns all-purpose yards, which is 4,768. Career rushing mark is 3,758. Career rushing touchdowns sits at 36, and another single game record rushing performance with 260 now. Coach, let's talk about Brian again this week.
He's just as tough as they come. I mean, he's a workhorse, and he's a guy that gets stronger as he carries the ball through the game, and I think he stays the same. I think other people kind of don't have the stamina that he has, but if you look at his career thus far, a lot of his big games come as the game wears on. And as I've told you week in and week out, I mean, we're not looking to break career records, looking to win games. And one of our focal points going into this game was to control the ball, time of possession, and limit Bosserman from touching the ball, who threw for over 10,000 yards in his career against us. So, based on game plan and what we needed to do, that kind of evolved into the type of game that Brian's had. But he's a workhorse, and I just asked his mom not to get me on child abuse for giving the ball 38 times. And she assured me she's on board with it too. So
she's definitely his number one fan.
No, she's a great lady, and real glad that he's a Panther.
So, Coach, you sit there and you watch a lot of college football and NFL football, and you see how heavy the quarterbacks are these days, and you see how important the quarterbacks are these days. How does it feel as a head coach to have, that running back that on first or second down will get you those 8 to 9 yards to set up that third and short right there for your offense to have an opportunity to get that first down easily?
Well, I think it's tenfold. It's the kid that's back there, but it's the 5 guys up in front with Malik Price anchoring the center position. Is a senior and is just a quiet workhorse. He just comes to practice and is not a vocal guy, but just is there all the time, gluing together our O-line with 3 juniors. Sam Messer, obviously Jordan Patty's been a decorated player for us his first 2 years. Along with Sam Powers, he and Sam have played side by side for 20-plus games, and Stephen Murphy has come along late last year and as a sophomore solidifying. Well, the 5 of those guys were actually chosen as the players of the game for our offense, and graded out over 87% and had 45 knockdowns. And to have that along with obviously Brian, and then Zach makes very good decisions even in the run game where there's some option pieces to it. It's a collection of all those guys and the perimeter guys that are doing their job downfield. As you're getting some big shots in the run game, it's because those kids are getting on safeties and blocking in the perimeter. So I think it's a collective group of the offense that's energized by Brian and his ability to be a special player, but it elevates everybody around him, and they're all answering that call.
I was reading your quote that you had given for the website, and you talked about it was a complete team performance there in that victory. You talked about the offense, the defense, special teams, everybody, and I think that it shows in the score, 38-21 victory over the Hornets at Shenandoah. Coach, on the defensive side of the ball, we gave up 378 yards to a plus quarterback. Any adjustments with the defense moving forward, or, talk a little bit about that.
Each week's different. You face a different animal in offenses, and like I've said before, Coach Dawson, Gaskins, and Sproles are the 3 guys that kind of spearhead our defense as a staff, and they do a great job, putting together our personnel to fit what we can do and who we're attacking. And Guilford will present some other challenges that Shenandoah didn't, and I'm sure we'll be ready for that task.
Thursday night under the lights, we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, it'll be a little different, little different piece to the puzzle, and got kind of an extended bye week, and then we get a little mini deal going into the W&L game, which will be good as well. So we just got to be smart with our time off and utilize our players to stay sharp in this couple extra days and get healthy, like you said, for a good October stretch here.
So, Coach, it's your bye week, let's shy away from football a little bit. It's your bye week. Of course, you're going to be going through the progressions every day, Monday through Friday. But this weekend comes along. What do you do for fun during your bye week and the weekend? Because I know everybody needs some time off, Coach. Everybody needs to rest their mind a little bit.
No doubt. And,
is the missus happy?
She is. And I got 2 young kids. My oldest is here on the team as a freshman, so I get to see him pretty much daily, which is pretty cool. But I've got a 10th and 7th grader, and as a coach, obviously our time in the fall is limited, but just try to maximize as much time as I can with them. And I like cooking. I'm a big green egg guy, so I'm sure I'll fire that thing up on Saturday and get something good for
burgers at your house.
A little stronger than burgers. We'll go a little deeper into the cow than that.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
Some
burgers just a quick bite when
Is
I'm
that
coming
an indirect
home.
invite?
Never. We'll keep it professional, Chitwood. But, probably do some, watch some football. Obviously, as a coach, I'm a football fan, so I look for a good game to watch and hopefully learn something from somebody else too. So it'll be good. We'll be back at it Sunday on the short week. We'll bring the team back and kind of have a Monday practice on Sunday as we get ready for that Thursday night game.
You a college football fan or NFL fan, even though it's probably not the smartest question to ask?
Football's, it's a little different brand at both levels, and you got to understand what you're watching. But I just enjoy the game, and I'll leave it at that.
I love it.
Well, that'll do it for this version of Ferrum Football First and 10. Our next show will be October 10th. I'm your host, Taylor Chitwood, alongside me, co-host Brandon Roberts and Coach Grande. Thanks for joining us.
No problem, fellas.